New segment on the show, overrated, underrated, properly rated. Now, I did a top 5 video of most overrated rides in my opinion, and some people had some issues with it, so that video is down in the description below. Make sure you check that out to see which one of the rides you love is on it. As for overrated and underrated, I kind of did a subjective, but as close to accurate as I could do with people who have ridden it before. I was on a VIP tour, so I asked what they thought of the ride afterwards, people who rode it before, and kind of got their viewing, and I had already done a rating system on the rides and see if it's overrated, underrated, or properly rated. Let's start with Islands of Adventure.
Let's start with Marvel, The Incredible Hulk. Underrated. 6 was the average score. It's an 8 at least. Yes, it can be a headbanger, but once you know where to put your head, this ride is great. Doctor Doom, underrated. People on average said 3. This is better than 3 by the great view of the park alone, depending on what side you're on. And it's fun that it's a shoot up rather than your typical drop down. So I said 5, so underrated. Storm Force, properly rated. 2. Maybe that's even a little high, but kids like it, so I said 2. Spider-Man, properly rated, came in an average score of 8. A lot of people love it. I said 8. Toon Lagoon, Dudley Do-Right, properly rated. People said 7. I said 7.5. We're in the same world. Let's be honest. The only issue with this ride is the theming is not current, but I do love the Rocky and Bullwinkle side connection. Bluto's, underrated. People said 5. I think this is a 7. People don't understand how great this ride is, myself included. Whenever I skip it for a while, because I'm like, I don't want to get soaked. But the amount of joy and fun you can have on this ride, it makes it a solid 7. And I did a video of us all getting drenched, so you can check that out in the description below. Jurassic Park River Adventure. Properly, people said it was an 8. I said it was a 7. Velocicoaster, certainly a properly rated ride. 10, it's a 10. Kong, honestly, I don't know. I didn't know what a number to put here. I feel like I like it, but I understand the issues with it. It was kind of all over the map by people's rating from 2 to 9, and it averaged at 6, so I feel like that's a proper rated. Now to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Hagrid's, overrated. It's a great ride, but plenty of people say it's their number 1 ride overall, and it's not a 10. It's a 9. It's great. It's a great family ride, but it is not the number 1 ride of anyone's selection, or it shouldn't be at least. Forbidden Journey, properly rated. Very solid ride. Not my personal favorite, but it's so interactive and it did so much for Universal. I had it at an 8.5. People had it at a 9, so it fit. Flight of the Hippogriff, properly rated. Almost overrated because some people think it's okay to stand in a 90-minute line for this, but most people realize it's just a kiddie coaster. Both of our scores came in around a 3. Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat, overrated. I had it at a 5. People had it at a 7. Maybe back when it spun it was a 7, but certainly not anymore. Trolley, properly rated. People had this at a 7. Same as Cat in the Hat, and I agree with them. It's a solid 7. The park views alone are worth it, and it's just so fun to hear it. The Carousel, properly rated. People said 3.5 on average. I have it at a 3. We're in the same ballpark. It's a carousel. One fish, two fish, underrated. People had it at a 2. Okay, maybe it's not higher than a 2, but it's one of my most favorite stories I'll have to tell sometime about being able to get soaked on that. So fun, so entertaining. Okay, yeah, it's just you go in a circle and get wet, but it is a fun ride. So I said underrated because I had it at a 3.5, but 2 might be more accurate. So what do you think? Did I get the overrated, underrated, properly rated correct? Yes, it was a small sample size and it is subjective, but tell me what you think is overrated, underrated, and properly rated in the comment section below. Universal Studios will be coming up soon.